Hey, hi everyone. It's Friday, time for It's a New Day. And I'm Marcia Grace, your modern meditation mentor. And I'm thrilled today because it's a gorgeous day here on Long Island. And it's summertime, right? So we don't have all that much time to enjoy summer, right? It goes all too quickly. So we have to enjoy every moment of each day, and that's what I plan on doing. In fact, this weekend I am taking one of my grandsons out for his birthday. We're having a lobster lunch because that's what he wanted, and so I'm looking forward to that. And just being on Long Island by the near the water and walks to take my sunset pictures. It's just a wonderful, wonderful time of year for me, particularly. And I hope you're enjoying this time of year as well. So, to continue, and I want to apologize because I think last week I said that my blog would be up about forgiveness. We started a conversation about forgiveness last week, and due to technical difficulties, I hate to say, I'm in the midst of shifting from one email program to another, and I haven't quite got it all together yet. So forgive me for that. See, we're talking about forgiveness. You have to forgive me. So hopefully that will be resolved this week. And you'll be able to go to my website and catch my blog there. If you care to read about forgiveness, because that's our topic. That's the topic that I wrote about. So to continue, and why do we want to talk about forgiveness? Let's just kind of regroup a little bit. I think last week we talked about the benefits of forgiveness are not really for the other person at all, but for you. We are the ones that benefit when we forgive other people or situations around us, because now we're not holding on to that painful thing, that thing that's aggravating us, that's causing us sleepless nights or negative thoughts, right? And so when we let that go, we're new, we're fresh, we're renewed and ready to go on with new things. So really, forgiveness is for me. When I forgive whoever it is. Now, that doesn't mean that I accept bad behavior. It doesn't mean that I turn my back on a situation that requires some kind of caretaking, something to do. But it does mean about how I perceive the situation. Because when I'm unforgiving, I'm a victim. That's the main idea. I'm a victim, and being a victim is not a happy place to be. And if you agree, please just give me a wave or a hand. Oh, I'm going to wave. I'm going to wave to Sharon. Hi, Sharon. I'm going to wave to Ed. Hi. So it's not a place. It's not where you want to be. You don't want to be in that place because it's uncomfortable. It's depressing. It makes you sad. It makes you retreat. It makes you depressed. So who wants that? We don't really want that. Even though our little mind ego, the little ego there that's sitting on this shoulder here and is going, yeah, 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 and saying, oh, they did this and they did that and this is terrible and blah, 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 blah. And, you can listen to that. But you know what? Over here on this side, you've got your friend, who is any one of these people up here, or somebody else. I honor all enlightened beings. So whoever you can bring in to be your partner in discovering your peaceful self is a benefit, is wonderful, and I applaud that. So please go right ahead. All right, so that's my little recap on forgiveness. So we're going to continue today to discuss this a little bit. And this is from my book, Concrete, the second edition, the second book in the series. And we're up to lesson 63, day 64 today, day 64. And this lesson says, the light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness. Okay, so in other words, I determine the peace in the world. Wow, I know that sounds, maybe it sounds a little arrogant, but actually it isn't, because we're talking about your world, my world. In my world, I bring peace when I forgive. I am the light of the world in my world. And so in my world, when I shine my light on every situation that I come in contact with, when I shine my light on that and choose to see how we can come together as opposed to how we don't come together, that makes all the difference in the world, in my world. Right? And whose else world am I going to be living in? It's my world. So it's up to me what I do with that. And so what I would say to you is, consider yourself the light of the world. It's not arrogant to say that at all. It's what it is for me, as I understand it, coming from my spiritual perspective, is that you are a sacred, holy being. That's how you were created. And so if you were created that way and you're not living that kind of life, well, don't feel guilty about it. We have these two, I like to kind of think of it as these two little voices on our shoulders. We've got the ego over here going, yeah, yeah, yeah. And we've got your right-minded spiritual partner over here who is, saying, listen, I'm here. Just ask me for help and I'll help you. But we have to ask. That's the key. You have to ask, because if you're on ego automatic, as I say it, when you're on ego automatic, that's what you're going to be listening to. All the negativity, all the reasons why it's bad and it's wrong and all that stuff. So you have to make that choice. That's your choice. And make the right choice so you can be happy. That's how I look at it. All right, so let's just break this down a little bit more. All right, so the light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness. And the first thing I say here, I mentioned here that this ego over here on this shoulder, this ego mind is the mind. It's like a virus, is how I mention it here, and it spreads its damaging thoughts throughout your life. And then you're going to take that into your day, and then you're going to be spreading that virus all around to everyone that you meet. Is that what you really want to do? Let's stop and ask ourselves this question. Is that the way I want to live my life? Or would I rather have peace? Peace, it says peace up there, if you can see it, I hope. That's what I'd rather have. I'd rather have peace. I would rather be wrong and happy, or just not to be wrong, but not to get into the problems that separate us, but the situations that can join us. How can I see ways to join as opposed to see things that keep us apart? So I mentioned that we don't want this plague of negativity in our life. And again, we may think, I can't help it. There's nothing I can do. I can't help the way I think. Well, yes, you can. Yes, you can. And that's why I teach meditation. Because through the process of meditation, you get in touch with this one over here, your friend, as opposed to being on ego automatic. And then you have a new life. You have a new happy life, a life where you can, be in touch with what's going to bring peace and joy to you, as opposed to all the other junk, right? So the way I teach meditation, as I think I've mentioned before, is very different from other ways that you may have tried. So don't give up. And if you're really interested in knowing more about how I do that, please just shoot me an email. I believe it's in somewhere on your computer, I don't know, wherever, so you can find it. And I'm MarshaGrace.com, which is pretty simple. So that's what I want to say. So go into this weekend now. If you've got anybody in mind, that you've maybe holding a little grievance toward, they said something you didn't like, and now you're kind of feeling good about them, or a situation that's been unresolved, what have you. Sit with it for a minute. Just sit down. Just sit down. Let everything else go for a minute, and just let yourself visualize, if you're a visual person, or auditory. Maybe you hear something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Everybody's way of doing this is different, and so that's why I work with people in different ways. But what you want to do is get in touch with what it is you're experiencing about this situation. How do you feel? Let those feelings come up. Don't hide them. Don't pretend like they're not there. That's not helpful. Let them come up. Let them come up and explore them. Say, oh wow, I didn't realize I was thinking that. I didn't realize I felt that way. I didn't realize how strongly I felt. And that's good. That's good. I'm not telling you shouldn't feel strongly about something, but what I do suggest is that take those strong feelings and bring them to this one over here. Bring them over to your friend and say, help me see this situation in a loving, peaceful way so that I can go on with my day and my world and be the light of the world for the people in my life. All right? Give it a try. Let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear from you. So have a blessed, beautiful weekend and a week until hopefully I see you again. Bye-bye.